Hi everyone. I just took a couple of clients through the back end of what we're doing in the e-commerce accelerator because we've got a lovely landing page up, but I get that it is hard to understand what is actually in a course that goes for 10 weeks that covers all aspects of e-commerce. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to take you behind the scenes and give you an idea of the kind of content that is in the e-commerce accelerator. But first, I just want to clarify who the Ecommerce Accelerator is made for. I see it as being really beneficial for three categories of people. The first is people looking to get into an e-commerce career. Now, a lot of retailers, as you would know, actually have many casual team members on the retail floor or in customer service roles that are studying at university or doing it as their part-time job, looking for that full-time role. This is a great opportunity to upskill those team members with high potential and give them the foundations of e-commerce to develop a pipeline for you internally to build your e-commerce team. The second group that we think it is great for is junior e-commerce team members. So think e-commerce coordinators, people who may have been in the e-commerce team for a year, 2 years, and are looking to get a 360-degree view of all the elements of e-commerce, not only in their world, but moving out into marketing, finance, tech, fulfillment, and more. And the third group are other teams within retail who may be on the fringes of the e-commerce team, but are finding themselves bumping into them more and more. So think about merchandisers, finance, marketing, IT, all sorts of teams who are now collaborating with the e-commerce team and just want to be on the same page with the same foundational knowledge. They're the three teams that we think: people new to e-commerce, people who are junior in the e-commerce team, and those in retail on the fringes of e-commerce. We think they are brilliant candidates for the e-commerce accelerator. All right, let's get into it. First and foremost, this is our portal, and we have all 9 modules in here. This is actually from last year's accelerator, the second half of last year. So this is a sneak peek. We will be updating the materials for 2023, but the format will largely stay the same. This is all built in the platform called Thinkific, so it's always available to students, always on demand. And we have 9 lessons available, as you can see, from e-commerce introduction all the way through to finance, marketing, tech, analytics, delivery, and more. Okay, so if we go into this, each week there will be an overview. And in the overview, it will tell you exactly what you can expect. Each week there are 3 lessons within the module, and those 3 lessons cover a key component of e-commerce. So we give the overview here. We also tell you what you will learn by the end of this module, and then we give you some cheat sheets that you can take away with you throughout your e-commerce career, as you can see here. And then each week we have a portfolio task. Now, the portfolio task is the part where you get to put your knowledge into practice. Each student will pick a retailer, either their own brand or their own business, or most of the time they actually pick a brand outside of their world. And by doing this, they're able to analyze this brand and really pick it apart, find those opportunities, and develop a solution that they then pitch in 5 minutes, taking into account all aspects of e-commerce. These were the live lessons from last year. And last year, we delivered 2-hour live lessons via Zoom for our students. That has changed this year. This year, we are recording these lessons in advance so that it is available for students on demand so that they can view it in their own time. We will also have transcripts of these videos, so if you're a reader rather than a watcher, we'll have that available. What we will do is that we'll have a 1-hour workshop, and that will be a live workshop, and we will go through the portfolio activity, and as well, we might have some special guests join us along the way to dive deeper into that week's module. But the idea being that we bring all the class together to be able to trade ideas around how they're approaching their portfolio activity for the week, learn from each other, meet some great people to really stretch thinking. So this is the kind of content that you can expect to see throughout the accelerator. This is module 1, so this is the introduction to e-commerce, but you will see a range of things from definitions of common e-commerce terms to research about where e-commerce stands today, and lots of examples from Australian retailers who are doing e-commerce well. You can also see here that we have some cheat sheets available for download to our students. There's one slide that I really wanted to focus on here about our learning style in the Accelerator. So with the Accelerator, our intention is not to teach you every fact about e-commerce. I mean, it's not going to be possible, especially in 10 weeks. What we want to do is teach you the foundations and teach you how to think critically about all aspects of e-commerce. So if you're a marketer and you're looking to deep dive into SEO, into how to build links, how to do meta tagging, what the future looks like for SEO, this probably isn't the course for you, because we get to touch on SEO in the marketing module, but it's more from a foundational perspective. It's so that we can cover all aspects of e-commerce, but we want you to think critically. What you will find is that there are tools and resources that we give you along the way, so that if you really want to dive deep into a particular area, you've got the starting point to get going. Now, if you're a marketer, you might find that potentially basic, but you will be challenged when we get to other areas of the Accelerator, such as finance, technology, supply chain. So some modules may be basic for you, but you'll be stretched in other modules. And that's the idea. In the end, you have a full view across the whole scope of e-commerce, and that you are challenged in your thinking. And that is something that will stay with you forever. Now, just to expand into another module to give you an idea beyond that introduction one, here we are in the technology and data module. You can see here that the 3 lessons for this one are back-end operations, e-commerce architecture, and how to select technology. So these are the slides for that module. Here we talk about what are the common mistakes made on websites. We've got slow websites, we've got poor product details, we've got inaccurate inventory. So there's enough information here to be able to spot these and be able to dive into it and analyze your retailer's performance. You won't come out as necessarily a UX or a tech expert, but you'll be able to speak the language and know where to look for common e-commerce practices. As you can see here, we have got a whole bunch of resources. This is the cheat sheet around a technical audit that you can do on a website. And then we go into architecture. So what is e-commerce architecture? How does it work? What are the common platforms, data integrations that you need? Again, you're not going to come out of here as an architect, but you are going to be able to know what architecture is, why it's important, and what some of the most common e-commerce architecture approaches are. So that's the level that we're talking about. I hope that gives you a really good overview of where the Accelerator sits and how it works. What I will show you again is that we have portfolio tasks each week. So these portfolio tasks are optional. Each week, the portfolio task will build on the knowledge that you've learned through the videos, and it will then ask you to apply some of the knowledge to the retailer that you've chosen for your final pitch. It will ask you to go away and have a think. And these are really thinking activities around how it applies for your retailer. Let's analyze them. Let's understand where the opportunities are. And then let's think of a big idea and then how we would execute it. In the end, you're going to have to deliver a 5-minute pitch around your idea, including from a customer perspective, a financial perspective, tech considerations, and how this will lead your brand into the future. So it's actually a really exciting thing to finish up the Accelerator. And it's my favorite part is our graduation ceremony at the end, where we get to share the best of those pitches. On top of all this learning content, we have a community. So last time we ran it through the Thinkific community. Have to admit, it's not the best platform in the world, so we've transferred that to Slack. So we are going to have a dedicated Slack community to connect everyone there, and that will be the way that you can get hold of me throughout the week to ask any questions or clarifications around what we are doing, but also to connect with your peers and be able to trade ideas and inspiration. We see that as probably the most important part of this, especially if you're early on in your e-commerce journey, being able to connect to others who are in the same situation as you and build your careers together. I hope that's given you a really good overview of the Ecommerce Accelerator. We are head down updating the content for 2023. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We've only got 50 spots available and we kick off on the 12th of June. So make sure you register, secure your spot, and we'll see you in the Accelerator.